Ain't seen you around in a while. They tell me say you're doing good lately. Yeah. How your mama done doing? You know the conversation really about to go to a whole nother place when they ask you how your mama doing. How your mama doing? Then the conversation go real deeper. But they ask you about your grandma. You hear what I mean? Once they start asking you about your grandma or your granddaddy, somebody like that, that means that they trying to find out if y'all family, you know. So your grandma, my grandma is Peggy, right? You know what I mean? So they ask about my grandma Peggy, you know what I mean? She from Roseville, South Carolina. You know, everybody from Roseville, Branchville, Bowman, you know, basically around Orangeburg is pretty much kin, knowingly and unknowingly. So they asked me about Peggy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So asked about Peggy. And so you got Dooleys and Russells and Mays and Simpsons and Frosts and Whaleys, and I mean it's so many families, you know what I'm saying, that's connected and tied, you know, by blood and by marriage. So that conversation is going to be a generational conversation. Actually, it's going to be a generational conversation. 9 times out of 10 you're going to get educated now, because you're going to find out that some people that you grew up with, that you more than likely went to school with, that you was actually kin to. That's how I found out a lot of my cousins talking to a lot of older people, you know, like, okay, yeah, me and them cool, yeah, but I didn't know that was my cousin, you know, like, but since, you know, when you're a part of families, and it's sad to say, and it's like this in a lot of our families, when you don't have family reunions regularly, and the patriarch or the monarchs, you know, people that's been the leaders and the generals and the people that's been the glue of the families die, and then nobody else really picks up the succession to keep it going, you know. As we say, once Big Mama go, everything kind of go, because Big Mama house is what? The meeting house where everybody meet up at, you know, where everybody pretty much lived or been raised at, you know, or, you know, you have family dinners, you know, Sunday dinners, you know what I'm saying? You know, Sunday dinners at Big Mama house, you know. Big Mama had an organizational structure for the family, and what Big Mama say was like the mob. If she say Sunday after church, meet at the house, it's gonna be a family meeting, you didn't buck Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because if you buck Big Mama, guess what? Everybody gonna get on you. Everybody gonna get on you. Because Big Mama word is like God word. You know what I mean? So that's how those generational conversations go that way. And we gotta have more succession with our families. You know, we gotta have more family reunions. Okay. And when we have family reunions, we gotta be peaceable with one another. You know, we gotta be gentle with one another. We gotta be forgiving with one another, because, you know, I did not know that my sister daddy was our cousin, but he my cousin. See, you gotta forgive family members for stuff like that, for ignorance that you didn't know. So now you find out y'all kin by blood and marriage, you know. Blessings, Sister Celeste, how you doing? One love to you. And so don't you know, Don't hold grudges. A lot of families can't grow because they hold grudges. Stuff that happened in childhood. Well, my granddaddy, he had kids by, cousins. His granddaddy basically ran through the family. You know what I'm saying? He had kids by your grandma, your aunt. You know what I'm saying? Or one of the, he slept with a couple of the nieces and other cousins. You know what I'm saying? Granddaddy was the man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta forgive people for stuff like that. That's stuff they did when they was younger. You know what I'm saying? So you can't hold stuff against people that they did when they was younger. You got cousins. That they got children by each other. We all, probably got family members that's got children by each other. Some of them even married to each other. So you gotta forgive people for stuff that you don't know. I almost dated one of my cousins. You know what I mean? It just so happened, I'm a conversationalist, so I asked her what her last name was, and come to find out we was cousins. But if I wouldn't have asked her what her last name was, you know what I'm saying? So ask questions, especially if you're from a small state, area, or town, or what have you, where it's a lot of family members that's populated and people that's related, whether by blood or marriage. Check that generation, check that generation. You need to check that generation to find out, if y'all can, you know what I'm saying? If y'all can. You don't want to be married to your cousin, or your distant relative, and sometimes too, the reality of it is sometimes when people discover things, it be too late. They be done had a child, they done be had a relationship, a marriage, or what have you, so some conversations is necessary, especially about family, because some of us grew up fighting our cousins, didn't know they was our cousins. You know what I mean? You done had some cousins that done killed each other. Now the family divided, because this side favored one cousin, the other side favored the other cousin, because that's aunt such and such son, you know what I'm saying? They're a favorite. Or that's such and such grandson, or that's such and such son. So, they one of the favorites, so you don't go against the favorites, Miss Nicole, how you doing? Yeah, so, we got a whole lot of work to do with forgiveness and holding grudges, and that's why a lot of times we don't want to have them conversations, because truthfully, a lot of us, be holding grudges for stuff from our childhood, daddy wasn't there, daddy ran off on mama. You don't know why, you don't want to know why, you won't take time to get counseling and therapy to deal with it, to deal with that anger, that bitterness, and so that creates a trigger of why you got trust issues, or why you go from one man to the next man because you got daddy issues, or you don't trust man. Same thing with men too. I'm not biased, as you know, I'm a realist. A lot of men got trust issues because of their mother. Their mother was the first woman to betray them. They was broken by their mother. They were abandoned by their mother. They was left for dead. They was given up for adoption. They was dropped off the family member houses. And so that breaks a little boy. So it's a lot of grown adult men with little boy experiences because they never grew up, they never developed, so they got mommy issues too. So they only choose women that are caretakers for them because they never learned how to be independent on their own. They got a codependent spirit. That's really bad. That's really bad. It's really bad for a man to have a codependent spirit where everything that he does is dependent upon him having a woman. So he don't have successful marriages and relationships because everything that he does is dependent upon him having a woman. He can't even get a divorce without getting right into another marriage or another relationship. He can't a lot of times be faithful because of abandonment issues. So he has one woman he's with and another woman on the side, or many other women. So mommy issues is very deep too. And a lot of women got mommy issues too, because some mothers was the first one to break their daughter's heart too. Can we have that conversation? The mama was jealous. The mama was in competition. She'd give you a compliment, but then she'd dish you at the same time. A lot of mothers spiritually prostituted their daughters. They put them out on the market, because of their beauty and their body, and they, put them on display before grown men, and sometimes in their earlier years, men in their family, a lot of girls were molested and raped by family members. That's been a generational curse for a lot of girls that family members infiltrated because of their mothers, put them on display. And so that brings trust issues. That brings abandonment issues. That brings self-identity issues. Dealing with, the confusion of what's the truth, what's a lie. Am I beautiful? Am I pretty? Am I sexy? Am I not? All these things that's being told to me real, or is it a part of the game, the prostitution for this individual to get what they want from me? Because this the same stuff my mama told me before she sold me, before she prostituted me. Before she told me, well, listen, you want some school clothes, you better go get in that car with that man, or you better put your mind somewhere else when he get on the top of you and let him have it. So it's a lot of trauma, a lot of trauma that come from mothers, a lot of traumas, a lot of brainwashing, a lot of serious brainwashing, to not let a person, not let a young girl or a young child learn the identity of growing up being a little girl in their innocence, and a lot of little girl innocence were taken, and their mothers played a key role in it. And so for all you ladies, all you queens, I want to apologize to you for what your mother did to you, and I want you to forgive her, because that created trust issues and abandonment issues, and it spreads throughout the family, of why you don't have strong motherhoods and strong sisterhoods, and you can't work and network with other women without being in competition with them or being inferior to them because of that trauma, those scars, or those memories that you had to endure. So, and I'm praying that God transform and heal you, because you'll become a better woman for yourself individually, and a better mother, a better sister, a better friend, and that's very serious and very important. And yes, to the brothers too, to the men, especially if you're a husband, you're a father, cousin, brother, forgive that absent father. Forgive that absent father that wasn't there, that you probably never met, or that you met a few times, and he wasn't the ideal father, he wasn't a provider, or the way that he did provide, wasn't righteous, or he was in jail or prison. That creates a system of little broken boys that grew up to be grown, broken men. So I want to apologize to you, brothers, kings, men's, cousins, fathers. That little boy in you deserves to grow up. He deserved to have a voice that you can express yourself freely without feeling like your voice don't matter, because your father didn't give you a voice. He didn't give you that safe space, so if you want to hug, you want to cry, even if you want to spaz out, we can do a therapy session. You want to let your anger out, healthily, so that you can grow, that you can mature, so that you should stop carrying this anger. You stop carrying this anger and bitterness because you don't understand what happened. And like most boys, they want to know, well, what was so wrong with my mama that my daddy didn't stay with my mom? In my eyes, I thought my mama was a good woman. And the truth of the matter is, some of our mothers were our first sabotagers. Tina Coakley, how you doing, sis? One love to you. Some of our mothers were our first sabotagers, because a lot of our mothers put us into the trauma that we experienced at a young age. And I'm open and honest about my life and my past and my upbringing. All of my early hood trauma came from my mama. All of my childhood trauma came from my mama. Being abandoned, being left alone, being left at other family member houses, having to take care of my little sister and my little brother when I was a child. So my childhood, I never had a childhood. My childhood was taken away from me, so I don't know what it's like to be a child. I didn't start learning how to be a child until I went to my godmother's house. Actually, that's the only place that I could actually be a kid, be a child. Coming from trauma to therapy is a bridge, but we got to admit at some point and own that, a lot of things took place with our mothers, and owning that, you got to forgive her, you got to forgive her, forgive your mama. So forgive your mama for her ignorance, forgive her for not being accountable, and then look at the grace and mercy of it. Some of us, our mothers, were teens having a kid. They were kids. Some of them were kids having a kid. My mama had me. She was 15 years old. She was a kid having a kid. So what do a kid know about raising a kid? Nothing. I mean, it's a generational thing of kids having kids. So kids don't know how to raise kids, So it's a cycle, It's a cycle that's got to be broken. And when kids normally have kids early, they normally are in survival mode, because most young girls don't return back to school once they have a kid early, in their early teens or mid-teens. They normally don't finish high school. They normally don't proceed to go to college or whatever. At a later date, they might, find some formal education to continue, or, college courses, college credits, or later on get back on track. So salute to all you mothers that had children early, and you were a kid yourself, and you didn't have the resources and the fundamental things to actually, take care of yourself and take care of your child. And so, you had to rely on certain family members. You had to rely on the governmental system, and, it came a point in time, maybe you did some things to survive. We'll just keep it at that, But forgive yourself, because, you had to do what you had to do for your child or your children, for them to eat, for them to be clothed, for them to be sheltered. A lot of people don't understand that the survival of a woman is tough, because, I've seen some mothers do some things for their children that it would only take a mother's love to do. The next thing to God's love is a woman's love, because, man, a mother's love, the places and the depths, the heights, and the extreme that a mother would go to for her child or her children is unmatched. Is unmatched, especially when they need food, clothing, shelter, or whatever necessity. You know what I'm saying? A mother gonna make it happen. Don't nobody hustle harder than a single mother that's gotta take care of her own child or her own children, because she can't depend on nobody else. She been let down by everybody. She been let down by everybody. She been let down by parents. She been let down by other family members. She been let down by her child father or her kids' fathers. So she learned to build the survival thing, where she worked one job or two jobs or three jobs, or she got a job in a business, and so it's been a constant thing, so forth and so forth. She been actually living and surviving. So you gotta be soft with women that always had to bear the burden of being more than just a mother. Some women have never been able to just be a mother, so I understand when women are saying now that they are in their soft era, because a lot of them came out of survival. A lot of them came out of survival for many years, surviving as a kid, surviving molestation, surviving rape, surviving being betrayed by people that they love, that they gave their heart to, marriage, relationships, friendships, jobs, careers, even church. And so if a woman say, she's in her soft era now, she understands the therapy, she understands the counseling, she understands the spiritual transformation for her to be in this era. So if she have a couple triggers, don't hold that against her. Don't hold that against her, because she's still working through all the things that she had to survive through to become the woman that she is now. And don't hold her past against her if you know it. Okay? Never hold a person past against them if you know it. That's one of the worst things you can do, is remind somebody of their past. That's not love. That's not love. That's not love, condemning somebody because of their past, because God didn't condemn us for our past, because we've all done things that people don't know about and some things that people know about. So do a heart check, all right? Do a heart check. So some conversations are necessary, all right? What's going on, my brother? Eddie V, what's going on? Yes, God is good. God is faithful. Thank you, Evangelist Kenethia Gibbons. Blessings to you. One love, peace to you. But yeah, you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive the people that abandoned you. You gotta forgive the people that even left you for dead. You gotta forgive the people that set you up, but didn't know that God used them to set you up. That's a good word for somebody. See, every setup ain't bad. Every setup ain't bad. I thank God for the people that set me up, the people that abandoned me, the people that threw me under the bus, the people who say that they was in my corner and never came through, the people who promised me I'll always be there for you, I'll always have your back, and they disappear. I love them people. The reason why I love those people is because those are people that God used to set my life up. Because when they disappeared, that's when God leveled me up. So a lot of times we be fighting to keep people in our life that God is trying to get rid out of our life, because he knows the intention of their heart. He know they're not really for you. He know they really don't love you. He know they really ain't in your corner. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you be successful. And I'm going to go here. And mainly, most of the times, it's family members. It's close, dear family members. The people that you love, And there's some close, dear friends also that you done laid your life on the line for, that you would do anything for, that you would literally give the shirt off your back for, that you done fought for, that you done went to jail for, that you done been in prison with, that you done had to share each other clothes. We done stayed at each other houses. We done cut each other hair. We done wear the same boxers, drawers. We done wore the same T-shirt. We done went to dances and stuff. And I wear the outfit first, and they wear the outfit next. Or we exchange the shirt, we exchange the pants. We talking about real trencher stuff here now. All right. How you doing, Mr. Tanya Jackson? Blessings to you. But don't be the people that betray you the most. But you got to understand, betrayal is a blessing. Betrayal is a blessing, because every betrayal leads to a blessing. And we see that even in the case with Jesus and Judas, being betrayed with a kiss, And, Judas thought that he was selling out Jesus, going back telling inside information to the high priest, thinking that, okay, well, listen here, we about to get him knocked off, we about to get him put on the cross, so go ahead, give me them 30 pieces of silver, and we'll sell him off to you, we'll give you that inside hit on him, They didn't know that inside hit was going to lead to the deliverance of the world. And see, what a lot of people don't understand is they think they got an inside move on you, they got an inside hit on you. Only thing they about to do is take your gifts, your calling, your assignment, and let God display you to the world. Because if you was not betrayed, you would not be able to birth forth everything that you have in you. If you didn't endure the hit, you see what I'm saying? If you didn't endure the hit, the people trying to infiltrate you, the people trying to sabotage you, the people that done, stole your credit card before, they done stole your checkbook, they done put things in your name, they done had bills in your name, they done put businesses in your name, they put cars and loans and title loans and all kind of things in your name, trying to infiltrate you and sabotage your life. But God keep on opening doors for you to blow their mind, blow their mind. How you doing, my dear brother, Jason Eugene? Blessings to you, my brother. One love to you, man. But yeah, betrayal is a beautiful thing. It's necessary, and you got to have maturity to deal with betrayal, because it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and you got to understand and have the maturity that when people turn against you and when people go against you, don't take it personal. Take it purposely. That means it was meant to happen on purpose for God to birth something out of you. There's some things that are great in you, but without them being birthed, when I say birth, I'm talking about being cultivated. Being cultivated like a baby, when, a baby is in their mother, they need to be nurtured. So a lot of these things, they sharpen you, they grow you, they push you to prayer, they push you to studying your word, they push you back to fellowship. They put you in a place of sanctification where you separate yourself from people that you can hear God clearly, and that, you ask God to reveal to you your purpose, your assignment, your calling, and you get that back as your main focus rather than trying to be a people's pleaser but only a God pleaser. So I hope that you was blessed by this fellowship. I just was flowing, and so I just thank God just to have the opportunity to speak. Thank God for the platform. Thank God to be able to help somebody. You never know what kind of encouragement, you never know what kind of inspiration that you are to people. You are somebody's blueprint. You are somebody's survival guide. You are inspiration to somebody. You are encouragement to somebody. You are God's best to somebody. Some people come out every morning, every afternoon, every evening to watch your video, to watch your reels, to see your posts, to draw strength, to be built up, and to help transform their life, and to help them get closer to God, to their purpose, their destiny, and all the things that He has promised them. So until next time, let's stay in these birthing chambers so God can get everything in us, out of us. And we just thank God for all things right now. Hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, according to your time zone. Let's start the week off giving God glory as we stay in these birthing chambers, okay? Shift, one love, peace. I'm out.